now. Newly promoted Currie are captained by Scotland ace standoff Ali Donaldson in an innovative back division with punch in the centre, sizzling pace on the wings, and a 20-year-old scrum half in Douglas Rogerson. A youngish pack, only Bruce Ward is over 23, and it's a beefy pack, led by the beefiest of all, Clem Boyd from Belfast, who weighs in at 18.5 stones. An understrength Stirling County side is captained from full-back by Kenny Logan, whose cousin Alistair has the pivot role. Two 17-year-olds in Stuart McAllister and Fraser Kennedy, a formidable tight five with a wily Dad's Army front row, and Bob McKillop to dispense wisdom at breakaway.
19, Russell 17, Hunter 18, W. Weatherhead has been added to their replacements as number 16. And the Stirling County replacements, C. Ray, 17, S. Cameron, 16, A. Blues, 18, and J. Henderson, 19.
A referee who always looks fit enough to play his charge in this one, Ray Megson, a referee for 18 years, who's officiated at 15 internationals since joining the international panel in 1985.
I checked with it.
And so Kenny Logan there with 22 caps and 4 tries for Scotland, but today the captain of Stirling County. And so the Shield final has Currie, champions of Division 2 of the Premiership, locking horns with the 1995 Scottish champions Stirling County. And already it's Jeff Keane, the flying machine, over halfway. He's got support outside of it, Keane feeding on there, and it's a great break there initially by Currie. And it's Kenny Logan who's scurrying back there to clear that. But what a brilliant opening to this match. It was moved out so beautifully to Keane, and Keane is a desperately quick lad. Used to play for Gala at one time, and he got well into the Stirling territory. And there, the feed on there to Peter Simpson, the 19-year-old. They came close to a score. So the first penalty goes to Currie. There is Brian Robertson, the veteran front row forward for Stirling County, the tight head prop. So there's never any doubt as to who'll take the goal kicks for Currie. Ali Donaldson, who's, well, one of Scotland's most prolific point scorers. Captain of the side today. That's the 22. And from the flag there, you would imagine he'd be kicking for the right hand upright. But the wind swirls about Murrayfield. Ali Donaldson then, who kicked 6 goals in the semi-final match, trying to pull that one round, but it's just drawn a bit too far. And so after just a couple of minutes play, still no scoring. Currie with the territorial advantage. Alistair Logan with the restart. Remember, 2 Logans playing today. John Gibson takes it and tries to drive up towards the 10 metres line for Stirling County. Kennedy, Alistair Logan, out to his cousin Kenny. No real advantage from a knock-on, the referee waiting quite rightly. And Kenny Logan there in the position in which he got his first cap against Australia on the tour there in '92. Fraser Kennedy, one of the 2 17-year-olds in this Stirling County side, is the scrum half, stocky little fella. So I'm playing 7s the other day. He's a real little workhorse, this one. Kennedy, nicely out. Long pass out there to Kenny Logan, and they were trying to get the ball to Carol Thompson, the big fella. Of course, Stirling County will be seeking combination understanding. You can see here they got a very good pass away there to one Logan, and then the miss pass going to Kenny Logan. And well, if big Carl Thompson had got it, there could have been trouble. But it's still inside the Stirling 22. Two young fellas, well, that's not them. That's the Stirling front row, all of whom in their middle 30s. Two young fellas in direct opposition at scrum half here. Douglas Rogerson is only 20. That's him there, getting a very good ball indeed. Ali Donaldson going. Great search through by big Bruce Ward, the flank forward who was standing off. And a loud blast. A tackle situation, and players ending up on the ground and penalised, and it's going to be costly because it's right in front of the Stirling post. That's Bruce Ward. You watch here, it was a nice move to Ali Donaldson, and then Ward, who was there as a centre, big powerful flank forward, and it was there that Stirling infringed by going over and going down. So Ali Donaldson, who has scored 166 of his side's 320 points this season. And Ali Donaldson puts the first points on the board with a very casual little strike, and so it's 3 points to 0 for Currie, and they've played 4 minutes. Quite a decent day here now. It was very heavy rain earlier on, and the pitch is a little bit greasy in patches. But the rain's gone off for the moment, and it's really quite pleasant, although cold. Alistair Logan. Very well knocked back there by Gavin Spowage, the big flank forward. But Currie got the little drive on there. Douglas Rogerson trying to work it, and he gets it to Donaldson. Donaldson stroking it and bouncing it and getting his touch on the 10 metres line. Ali Donaldson there, so important to have a player of his experience who's already played for Scotland A. Stirling 10 metres line. Those two representing two of Scotland's younger rugby union clubs. Played 7 times in National Leagues. Currie 2 wins to Stirling's 4, 1 draw. Malcolm Norval getting up there, but it wasn't gathered in. And there's the drive on again by Bruce Ward. He's going to be a spearhead, clearly for Currie. Lovely ball out there along the line. This is great running, and it goes out there to Forrester. Was the man who drove on, and it's a chance for Donaldson, and it's a try. A lovely try for David Wilson. David Wilson, who normally plays at full-back. It was super handling all the way. This was the initial drive by Bruce Ward, taking out the midfield of Stirling County, and then this is where the chance was. David Wilson to Donaldson, and eventually it was Keane who got it out there to Marek Tonkin. He's a powerful fellow. You can see how close he got, and then at this breakdown point, it's the very quick pass from the scrum half, the little flick of the fingers, Ali Donaldson, and a super try indeed for David Wilson. Eight points to 0, and Ali Donaldson, who believes in doing the same meticulous preparation. Notice him taking any bit of mud off his boot to be sure his non-kicking foot stays still. Donaldson trying to pull it round, but not quite enough. But it's 8 points to 0 for Currie, and this was a splendid try. This was Tonkin surging on there, so close. And then a reasonably quick ball here was all that Currie needed for 2 quick passes, and David Wilson was home. So they've restarted. Donaldson, a little bit slicey with that one. You can see how critical he is when things don't go just right. Ali Donaldson, who toured, of course, with Scotland in the South Pacific in '93 and played in 4 of the 7 matches. Ray Megson insisting on Currie leaving the clear gap down the middle. Chris Warren's told to move back a bit. Stirling County, of course, with a couple of very good big fellas here, Gavin Douglas and Malcolm Norval. See Ray Megson checking to see if the ball is on the ground and if they've made a ruck out of it. And even telling the players where the ball was. Donaldson, Keane once more. Now it's out to Scott Forrester. Lovely bit of loop running there, again by David Wilson. Keane with the long pass out that time, and this indeed was Scott Forrester. And notice the perfect loop, a lovely loop indeed by David Wilson. That's the Currie 22. The throw in by Bob Kearney, very experienced hooker. Great jump at the tail there. Norval driving. Drive again by Kearney, getting it from his scrum up. John Gibson goes in to try and get it out again. Now it's Kennedy along the line. Went to Logan initially, then the other Logan. That's Kenny Logan taking it on. Lovely stuff there. Kennedy once again, and a very good mark indeed by Bruce Ward. And notice how quickly he took it, just a little tapping away. He knew that he didn't have to wait. This was pretty good stuff by Stirling County. Kenny Logan taking the ball in there to the forwards, and then worked away there from Malcolm Norval. And Kennedy, this tough little scrum half, just 17 with the chip kick. There's Bob Kearney, who's 34 now, used to play for Hillfoots, Glasgow Academicals, Dundee High School FP. Super jump by Wands at the tail there, and it's Donaldson. There's a big relieving kick, but back there goes Carl Thompson, but he's left it. He's left it to Kenny Logan, and maybe Carl Thompson would have been better dealing with it. Kenny Logan with the sliced kick there. New experience for him for the moment, playing as a fullback. He's played so much of his recent rugby as a wing. Stirling 22. Throw in there by Alan Glenn. Just went a little bit too far. Lovely surge away by Wiley. Wiley the flank forward, but counter-attack there by Chris Wands taking it on. Now there's a lovely ball here for Donaldson. That's the chip kick. It's meant for Tonkin, who's up after it. But it's Crawford who gets back. And that's a very good kick off his left foot. He really had no angle, Scott Crawford, but he's found his touch well outside the 22. He'll be pleased with that. Doesn't look very pleased. No doubt he does feel it. Plenty of atmosphere here, although the crowd is distributed away around this huge stadium. That's John Gibson, loose head prop forward for Stirling County, known as Rhino. Very good knockdown there by Colin Black. But Stirling County driving. Gibson made the dummy run. Then it was Logan Alistair who maybe got the signals wrong. Drive on there by Colin Black for Currie. So Currie get the boot in for the original knock-on. And this will be midway between halfway and the Stirling County 22. This side for Currie is... this side of the front row for Currie is Clem Boyd, who's a very big, heavy fellow. You can see the size of him just from that shot there. And there he is with the headband. He's from the north of Ireland. Played for Instonians, that great club in Belfast. Former pupils of the Royal Belfast Academical Institute. But nicely done there by Rogerson. Donaldson with the kick. Has it gone a bit too far? Crawford going back. So Fraser Kennedy was going to take a quick one, and he certainly would have been within the law to have done so. But he gives it to the big fella, Alistair Logan. He's didn't cross the 22 metres line. So Currie up for the scrummage. And that's big Alistair Logan. Looks bigger than his stated 5 feet 11. Cousin of Kenny, the fullback, a 25-year-old auctioneer. Now a lot of options on to Currie here. And Donaldson is coming right, and David Wilson has gone outside now, but Donaldson is switching. Nice little sidestep taken on by the scrum half Rogerson. The ball seemed to go forward initially, but it's going to be a lovely try there for Scott Forrester. And Currie really are running away with this. Scott Forrester, known as Oggy. And it was the switch from here by Ali Donaldson, maybe because the pass went up to his left hand, but he took it the way he felt it. His scrum half Rogerson looped him, and then that was Michael Plum who fed out to Scott Forrester. It was a super try with a hitch kick thrown in for good measure. Donaldson, you'll notice, took the ball up to his left, and it may have been a pre-planned move, but certainly the scrum half knew where he had to go. And this was Michael Plum with a scoring pass. And well, you can't stop Scott Forrester from that distance. He's a flyer. Ali Donaldson with the conversion, and Currie are drawing away. 15 points to 0, and they've played about 15 minutes. And Ali Donaldson, the captain here, will be very pleased with the way things are going, because the side are knitting in well. Logan Alistair with the kick, Brian Robertson with the drive, on to Kearney. Kearney almost up to the 22. Good work there by the older members of the Stirling pack. That's the drive on by Bob McKillop, who took it. Now Kennedy going. Now Kearney out. The Gary Owen there from Alistair Logan. Back and taken initially by Stuart McAllister. All kinds of little mistakes here. You can expect that, because Stirling County have a makeshift side out. But here's Kennedy going again. Lovely breakthrough there by Stuart McAllister, up to within 10 metres. David Wilson rescues it, but there was an offside. The referee was playing advantage, decided that that territorial gain wasn't enough. It was a lovely break by McAllister. And there David Wilson rescuing it, but there had been a previous offside. And so the penalty there, and the penalty taker is Kenny Logan, who's kicked a few goals in his time. Awkward side of the pitch for him, right-footed. Kenny Logan, and there will be a cheer if this goes over, but he's pulled it wide. And so it stays at 15 points to 0 for Currie. They've played about 16 and a half minutes. Currie taking it very quickly, and this is Ward again. A big man who's played, what, 19 times for Edinburgh. Some great stuff here as they feed it out. Donaldson with a lovely pass. Keane once again. Keane has got his man outside him. Marek Tonkin was outside him. And Jeff Keane there, who has won quite a number of sprint events in the Border professional circuit, and it showed his pace here after Bruce Ward had made this drive. Ward a focal point in this Stirling, in this Currie pack. And there the lovely pass to Keane, and he did have Tonkin outside him, tried to pull the man in, which was sensible, but then lost it. So a brief stoppage for an injury to Rob Wiley, the Stirling County flank forward, there he is going off. And the referee, Ray Megson, is keen not to hold up play. Clearly Scotland looking to put the best foot forward in every respect in this great day of cup finals. And so game goes on. Kearney's throw. Huge jump there by Norval. It was a very good drive with the Stirling forwards. Kick wide across their meant for Carol Thompson. But it was Scott Forrester who dealt with it.
The Stirling County number 6 or 1 was retired injured, and he's repeated.
Ali Donaldson there, the captain, telling the players exactly what he wants in the way of positioning. Currie, of course, cleverly have changed their line out. They've got Jeff Keane at fullback, and that gives them an extra dimension. So Campbell Ray has come onto the field for Stirling County as Rob Wiley is off. Another lovely ball to Donaldson. All kinds of switches. David Wilson going. Oh, he's got through several tackles. He got further than he should have been allowed to. Now it could be a useful ball for Rogerson if he wins it. But again, the tackle situation, players going on the wrong side. You watch here a lovely bit of work by Ali Donaldson. And this was David Wilson who beat 3 or 4. One with a handoff, little swerve, and there was where the offence took place. Over the ball. Stirling have cleared it up towards their own 10 metres line. Rob Kearney, who's 34 and has played for both Glasgow and for the Northern Midlands. He's got a bleeding wound as well. Push in the back. Quick one taken there by the other Logan. Not back 10 metres. Brian Robertson had thought of taking another short one, but in fact they've left it to Logan Alistair, and that's not a bad kick this time. Alistair Logan there, who's been the captain of the second 15 for virtually a decade. And this, of course, especially for those Stirling County youngsters in the side, this is a very big occasion indeed. A number of second and third 15 players in this weakened Stirling County side. Yes, we thought that Rob Kearney would have to have the blood patch. That's one of the clear laws. Carol Young, the physiotherapist, dealing with it there. Rob Kearney, who was born in Tullybody, which Billy Connolly likes to have a go at every now and then. So Stirling County's Rob Wiley is back in action, number 6. Lovely ball to Donaldson. And it was Wilson actually going on the dummy run initially, and then Michael Plum came in. Now it's Keane. This is taken by Logan. Logan very well tackled indeed by Keane. 5 metres outside the Currie 22. Rogerson with a kick into space. But it was knocked on, and they'll have to scrimmage. Donaldson with a lovely pass to Keane, and Keane's kick there taken by Kenny Logan. But watch for the tackle. Keane, copybook, legs away. That's the way to put them down. 5 metres outside the Currie 22. Rogerson. Donaldson missed out Wilson. Lovely pass again to Keane. And there, once again, you see the value of playing a really fast winger as a fullback. This indeed is where Currie have kind of spoofed Stirling in a way, because Keane was supposed to be playing on the right wing, but here he is at fullback, and coming in as fullback, he gives them a very big dimension. Currie 22. Lovely pick up by McKillop. Kennedy, kick half charge down. Stirling badly need a score here. Donaldson again finding space. Back goes Scott Crawford. Crawford with a huge Garryon away above the height of the stands. Again, Donaldson calls for the mark, and you can do that with 1 foot on the ground. Now, in next season, you'll be able to make a mark from mid-air, which is really to try to save people being injured. Donaldson, you can see, totally in charge here and really orchestrating the entire Currie attack. Currie 10 metres line. Notice there is a bit of a breeze blowing from the touch judge's flag, Colin Henderson over there, but it's not really terribly annoying down on the pitch there. Drive on by Douglas, gave it to Wiley, front row taking over. Now Kennedy to Logan, and everything just a little bit slower on the Stirling County side. Currie went down on the top, taken quickly by Fraser Kennedy, on to Kenny Logan. Kenny Logan bursting through, he's only 10 metres to go. It was a very good run indeed by the Scottish fullback, the Scottish wing I should say, and fullback. He's played in both positions for Scotland. And so Kenneth McKerrow Logan doing pretty well there. Got his sighted within 10 metres, they've worked a penalty. It was Fraser Kennedy, the little scrum half, who started it off with a quick tap, and then Logan beat 4 or 5 men beautifully there, and all he needed was somebody on his left hand. Nobody there, but they got the penalty. And so the captain himself, Kenny Logan, with a chance to open the Stirling account. And he does that without any bother at all. So it's 15 points to 3. They played 25 minutes of the first half, and Stirling badly needed that score. Now the referee's telling Currie that they used a different ball for that kickoff, and therefore probably gained a bit of an advantage, and so Ali Donaldson has to do it again. Well, there's a crafty one, isn't it? His forwards won't be very pleased because they've got the traps away across the other field, but he's the captain, so he'll get away with it. It was a very good kick indeed up to the Stirling 22. Once again, Ali Donaldson getting the alignment right. David Wilson in there as centre. He's played most of his rugby as a fullback. Highly versatile back division Currie have here.
2-1-4-4-3.
Number 5 there is Chris Wands, and he was knocked out the road there, and I think. But in actual fact, the penalty has gone to Stirling County because Ray Megson, as he said to them, "I'll have a word with you at the next line out, Currie," and I wonder what that will be. Stirling duly gratified, and that's a very good kick indeed up towards the Currie 22. Now I wonder what the word will be. Criminal lawyer Ray Megson. Don't throw in just now, he says. And so really it's a form of compression that he's taken exception to, quite rightly, saying that the Currie forwards are all moving too far over the mid-line. It's an old New Zealand tactic, and but the referee's right with it. Of course, an international referee of considerable repute, and one who doesn't stand any nonsense either. So Currie are apprised of what it's about. Good strike by Kearney, although it was a very good shove indeed by Currie, and it really took Bob McKillop to tidy up there. Now Kennedy, see how pugnacious he is. Little middleweight build, and always very much on the alert. Young Fraser Kennedy, 17 years old, and he's playing us to the manner born, really. The ball was taken in by Stirling. They couldn't recycle it, and so Currie will get the put in. Nothing much between the two packs in the realms of weight. Currie slightly heavier at 15.12 average to 15.7.5. Currie 10 metres line. Yes, Clem Boyd didn't like what was going on there, so he broke it up. Danger there. Yes, Stirling County penalised for pulling down the scrimmage. Brian Robertson is the prop on that side. Now it's Rogerson, Donaldson, Wilson. Oh, lovely one to Keane again. Keane coming in at pace, and it's Donaldson. He's got his man outside him. Great run by Scott Forrester, but what a tackle by Kenny Logan. Scott Crawford in there as well. They're trying to do the forwards job until the pack arrive. Ball was knocked on by Currie. But once again, it's this clever use of Keane coming in quick there from the quick pass, again by Michael Plum, and then Donaldson getting it, and this was Scott Forrester, but woof, no way past Kenny Logan on that occasion. And it's always a concern for the referee when scrimmages go down like that, although they're very experienced, most of the front row lads there. Kennedy waits, got it away well, and Alistair Logan really had to rush there. He didn't have an awful lot of time there. Actually ran in the first Glasgow Marathon, you know, and did it in 3 hours 33 minutes, which is very respectable indeed. So that's the Stirling 10 metres line. Bruce Ward made a dummy run going forward. Nicely fed out from Alistair Logan. Stuart McAllister with the kick. The throw-in wasn't straight. No real advantage gained, and so Stirling get the scrummage. There's John Gibson, number 1. As I say, it's something of a dad's army front row, this one. Rhino, Budgie and Spud, they're called. Gibson 37, Kearney 34 and Robertson 36. So they've been around. They know what it's like in the jungle down there. Kennedy grateful to his forwards for tidying that up. And that is a bit off the side of the boot again. And so Alistair Logan, who's another veteran, 35 years old, and tremendous experience for him here today. But I think he'll be wishing that his forwards could maybe do a bit more from the back row to drag in attention first before the ball is fed out to him. That's Glenn frae Troon, Alan Glenn, who came from Troon but came out of Merkerson Castle School, that great nursery. Bad bounce there, Spowage going down for it. So they're back on the Stirling 22. About 9 minutes to go to half-time. It's 15 points to 3 for Currie. And Currie have called a shortened line. Alan Glenn throwing in, used to play for Edinburgh Wanderers for a bit. Knocked down by Clem Boyd. That was the pick-up by Bruce Ward, tackled by Spowage. Brian Robertson in there as well. Now it's Rogerson. Rogerson to Wilson to Donaldson. Oh, a sizzling sidestep from Donaldson and feeding back into the forwards. Now it's Rogerson again, Donaldson still, on to David Wilson, almost up to the Stirling 22. And some nice quick ball coming Currie's way here. This is the big fella Plum going, takes a lot of knocking down. Tonkin has almost made it. They're 5 or 6 metres out. The chance for Donaldson. And if that pass had gone to Michael Plum's hand, it could have been a score. As it is, it's David Dunsire who's leading the counter-attack charge. But that was a great opportunity for Currie to add to their tally and score a third try. See here when Tonkin took it from there from Plum and then veered outwards. And when they worked this very good ball back from Stuart Hardy, Donaldson took it, and just there, if Plum had caught that, well, he could have been over. As it was, David Dunsire took it away. A free kick to Currie. This is lifting, as the referee explaining to the players that if your fingers are pointed upwards, then you're probably not guilty of lifting, but if you can see the white of the knuckles, you are. And so the free kick goes to Stirling, taken by Currie. Fed on there very nicely to McKillop. On the wrong side, it'll be a penalty, and it's within kicking distance. Chris Wan's asking if it was his fault, and being assured that he wouldn't. And so this, of course, is the Shield final, and no tapped penalty attempts here. Very serious stuff as Kenny Logan tries to cut the deficit to just 9 points. So Kenny Logan, Stirling County captain. Oh, he hit that one well out wide. Taken nicely by Jeff Keane. So it stays at 15 points to 3, and there are about 6 minutes to go to half-time. Donaldson with the restart, taken by Crawford. He did well. Very little room. McKillop. So a tricky little bit of play there by Scott Crawford, this very tall left winger for Stirling County, supported there by Bob McKillop. Ali Donaldson there taking the reasonably quick dropout. Now watch, this is a big fella, came inside then outside his man, then beat another, and then got the ball away. Huge jump by Chris Wands, the 23-year-old. Rogerson, Donaldson, Wilson. Plum knocked over. Referee shouting hands off again, preventive refereeing. Coming in front of the hindmost foot. At ruck and maul nowadays, you really have to come in level with or behind the rear foot. You can't come in from the side, and that's a penalty offence. Of course, it's always a problem for a goal kicker who hasn't been accustomed to goal kicking, who doesn't do it day in, day out, as it were, to hit on the right technique and timing. Kenny Logan, as I say, in the past has kicked goals for Stirling County. But this is an important one. If you could go in only 9 points down at half-time, it'd be something. Logan then, oh, it's a very good strike indeed. Indeed, it is a cracker. So his second penalty goal for Kenny Logan. It's 15 points to 6. I reckon there are about 4 minutes to go to half-time, and that will lift the Stirling spirit. Currie, of course, hot favourites to win this. Donaldson again, varying the type of restart kick. It was Carl Thompson who got the ball initially, then it's the other Logan, then Spowage, but Kenneth Logan Esquire decides to bring a bit of common sense to the whole proceedings. He hoofs it up to halfway. This is Keane. That's the switch by Donaldson. Plum going on, the forwards taking it now. They're almost up to the Stirling 22. Lovely ball again to Donaldson. A good chance indeed as Forrester goes fleeing up that side. That's Scott Forrester, who's known as Oggy, a 27-year-old joiner who is a Scottish sprint international, and he does have that kind of pace. From the Stirling County line. Rob Kearney. Stirling did well to get through. And Alistair Logan it was. Knocked on, and they'll go back for the scrummage. Alistair Logan there, and that's some front rows Stirling County have. Gibson, Kearney and Robertson. They've all been around a long, long time. They all know what it's like in that front row jungle. That was Rob McKillop who did the scrum half job with his scrum half trap. Rob McKillop, who great cricketer, captains Clackmannan Cricket Club. Currie have cut to 4. That was another type of line out effort, the low one to the front of the line out. This is Donaldson, again to Bruce Ward. Ward in full flow, Ward champing on, and the interception was made by Kenny Logan, and that was a crucial one. Yes, referee telling them to watch where they were putting their feet. But you can see here Donaldson, and then watch Bruce Ward coming in. Now he's a great big fella, 6'3", 15.5 stones, a very experienced flank forward. And it was here, if you watch Kenny Logan, his anticipation was brilliant. He saved a certain try there. That was the pick-up there by Peter Simpson, this elongated youngster, 19 years old, at number 8 for Currie. That's him there, who has scored some very important tries recently. One against the South Africans in the under-19. Loud blast. The ruck had formed, said the referee, and you can't play the ball with your hands in a ruck. That's a penalty offence. I suppose a lot of folk would like to see ruck handling legalised, but certainly there Kenny Logan getting his team round about him. They'll certainly have a mountain to climb in the second half, because Ali Donaldson, meanwhile, is getting himself ready for, well, just about as simple a kick as he could imagine. Notice the pitch is just cutting up a little bit. An awful lot of rain overnight. It was in great condition yesterday, a wee bit slippery on top now. Ali Donaldson then. Yeah, he could do that with his eyes closed. His third successful kick of the afternoon. It's 18 points to 6 for Currie, and I reckon that we're into injury time at the interval. Currie, of course, with virtually a full-strength side against a much under-strength Stirling County. Alistair Logan drawing it back. Did it go over the 10 metres line? It didn't, just short of the 10 metre line. Referee blows his whistle for half-time, and it's been a half in which Currie in a way have dominated. They scored 2 very good tries, and they have a handsome lead at the break of 18 points to 6.
Final is Currie 18, Stirling County 6.
Jim Fleming, the international referee, who will be taking charge of the cup final between Watsonians and Hawick in about an hour's time. So international referee Jim Fleming of Boroughmuir just waiting his turn, taking charge of the cup final in about an hour's time. Ian Goodall, the Scottish referee's supervisor, is just on the right of the picture. That's him. So there, international referee Jim Fleming of Boroughmuir, who will be taking charge of the cup final between Watsonians and Hawick. So Ali Donaldson gets the second half started for Currie with another of those strange little dropouts, and Kenny Logan managed to get his kick away. He diced a little bit with death there. The very quick throw-in taken by Stuart Hardy, the New Zealander, and good work there by Alan Glenn, out there very nicely indeed to David Wilson, and a great drive on by Bruce Ward. What a match he's having. He's been the real spearhead for Currie. The ball was held up, referee was unable to see it, and so it'll be a scrimmage 5 metres out. But again, some lovely handling this by Currie, with Alan Glenn, the hooker, sending David Wilson away. Then the inside pass taken by Bruce Ward, and he went thumping on. And well, it was the tackle by Alistair Logan that prevented the try. Ball to Donaldson, switch there, and if the try is given, 2 attempts at it, but it was legal, and the try there scored by David Wilson again, his second try of the match, to add to his 4 tries in Premiership play. It's another very quick fire move here with Donaldson, the dummy running there, and then Wilson half brought down initially, but that he wasn't held when he hit the ground, and that's why he was allowed to carry on and score the try. So a third try for Currie gives Ali Donaldson the chance to kick his 4th goal of the afternoon, and Currie drawing away 25 points to 6 in the lead. And it's this kind of back play with dummy runs and feints and power stuff here. You notice that he wasn't actually held as he hit the ground, and so it didn't constitute a tackle. David Wilson scored. Alistair Logan restarts. Stirling County up to almost to the 22. Drive on by Bob Kearney, the hooker. Kennedy, lovely miss pass there to Kenny Logan, trying to find out. This is Scott Crawford, gives it outside there to Carol Thompson. Carol Thompson trying to go past Keane, but that's another very good tackle indeed by Jeff Keane, and help there indeed by Stuart Hardy. Line out on the Currie 22. Malcolm Norval and Douglas there, but beaten to it at the front. I think that was Colin Black who nicked it. Plenty of room there as Scott Forrester takes it that time. The scrum half, I don't think it was meant to go to Scott Forrester, but he reacted very well indeed to it. And off his left foot, the wrong foot, found a good touch. So Stirling have clipped to 4. Malcolm Norval is in at 2, and it was meant for him, but intercepted. Yes, Alan Glenn did pretty well there to get in and stifle that knockdown. So Currie get the foot in, and there's this younger Currie front row, Duncan Massey on the loose head, Alan Glenn, and then Clem Boyd on the far side. But foot up is a free kick, taken very quickly to Bruce Ward again. Look at the surging power of the big fella. He really has had a tremendous match. Now it's Donaldson once more, little dummy outside, the feed inside, is loose forwards now. Rogerson once again. Offside at the rack against Stirling. So Ali Donaldson simply going for territorial gain, and does it very well, and as you would expect of him. He really has been a dominant figure for Currie for a good number of years now, and of course he's a Scotland A international. He's played 16 games for Edinburgh and scored 200 points. That's an average of 12.5, which is some effort. Currie using the tail of the line out. Peter Simpson, the big number 8 forward, with the deflection. Now once again it's Rogerson to Donaldson, back inside to Wilson. That threesome have worked so well. It's Donaldson once again, out there to Forrester. And Kenny Logan again. I don't know whether he was meaning to find touch or whether just to belt it downfield. But meanwhile, this injury here to Carl Thompson. He's a big fellow they call the Terminator, because he's just under 15 stones. And you can see the size of them. Carol Young looks after the Stirling County players, and so they'll go ahead. And so it's not actually a bleeding wound. A lot depends on whether they decide to replace big Carl Thompson or not. Up there by Currie. That really caught Stirling by surprise, and there could be a maul-over try here. Nobody's sure where the ball is. Kennedy got it, but it could be a try there. A try for Duncan Massey, the prop forward, the 21-year-old, who's played for Scotland under 21 this season. You felt that it was bound to come, because it was a great search initially by the Currie forward, and then Massey, well, he didn't have far to go, and Kearney just couldn't stop him. Great moment for the 21-year-old, who's played a couple of times for Scotland under 21 this season. You notice the very low driving position he got, unstoppable there. So a fourth try for Currie. Ali Donaldson trying to pull it round, but just went straight on. It's 30 points to 6 for Currie. They played 7 minutes of the second half, and well, this could be a runaway.
Replaced by number 18, Ali Blues.
Ali Blues has come onto the field for Stirling County here. That's in place of Carl Thompson. Another great catch by Bruce Ward there. Ali Donaldson gets it away to Plum. Another marvellous break by Keane. Keane up to halfway, their support on each side. The pass really wasn't very well delivered, and that was a good effort by Stuart McAllister for Stirling County. He held it long enough to stop the momentum of the move, but Rogerson waits. Donaldson switching once again. Neat little dummy. He's made a lot of room there for Scott Forrester. Forrester over the 22, back inside to Duncan. That's a magnificent try. That really was a superb try. Marek Duncan, the scorer. It's 35 points to 6, and Donaldson switching again. First with the dummy, the swerve, and then sending his man away, Forrester. Forrester, I say, is a desperately quick lad, over the 22. The pass inside was absolutely perfect, and Marek Tonkin sailed home. Fellow who's played 3 times for Edinburgh. And you notice here Donaldson with the dummy inside, and then the swerve, a little change of pace there. Forrester desperately quick. And of course, Fraser Kennedy just eventually got him, but the pass went in, and Tonkin, clear field. 5 tries by Currie. And Ali Donaldson, ooh, you won't often see him miss one from that range. You see, it's absolutely fun. But it's 35 points to 6 for Currie. And, well, they played barely 10 minutes of the second half. Alistair Logan draws it back. Drive on by Kearney. Kearney's got on to a lot of deflections and bits and pieces here. Kennedy on there to Rob McKillop. McKillop driving almost up to the Currie 22. Kennedy again. Nice bit of running there by McAllister. David Dunshire was outside. John Gibson thumping on. I don't think Stirling quite sure what they were intending to do there. Well, here's a big fellow who knows what to do. Bruce Ward again. He has been a giant in this match. And a great bit of running here. Tremendous work there by Michael Plum, who's been in so many things. And it's Donaldson once again. It could be a tremendous try for Stuart Harvey, the New Zealander. That again is superb rugby football. The big fellow who's played for Auckland at under 19, under 21. Bruce Ward starting it all off. Look at him charging through tackles here and getting the pass away as he fell. That was brilliant. Very good bit of work indeed by Clem Boyd to take and give. And eventually Marek Tonkin took it on. Then Donaldson. And the last pass there went to Hardy. The defence was absolutely torn asunder. Another super score. 40 points to 6 for Currie. And Ali Donaldson with just 4 goals so far, which is no great haul for him. This is the slightly difficult one, of course, for Ali Donaldson. But as expected, he makes a difficult one look very easy indeed. And so 3 conversions and 2 penalty goals for Ali Donaldson. 6 tries for Currie, and they're leading by 42 points to 6. And they've only played 12 minutes so far. And Kenny Logan, a disappointed Stirling County captain, surely. But of course it stood to reason really that Currie would have a huge advantage, because they do have virtually their full strength side, whereas Stirling County of course have their top men down at Middlesex Sevens. Pick up again by Peter Simpson, the number 8 forward. Now it's out to Keane once more. Back inside to Tonkin. Tonkin feeding on to Ward. If ever anybody got a try who deserved it, it would be Ward today. Another feed out from him. Wilson going. Wilson still caught there by Norval. They're up to within 10 metres again of the Stirling County line, and it's simply all Currie, as Alan Glenn made the last drive there, the 21-year-old. This is David Wilson kidding on the pass, and eventually Norval got him, and in came Dunshire as well. Alan Glenn, the last fellow with it. So Rob Kearney going off, and Ray Mexon there has kept a very firm grip of affairs and really has got the temperature right throughout the game. It's been a sporting contest, but Currie well running away with it at 42-6. So for the second time, Rob Kearney has had a bleeding nose. Makes you wonder how he breathes after sticking all that cotton wool up there. Secrets of medical science. Tough man, Kearney, known as Budgie. Good shove by Currie. Yeah, Kennedy did well, and so did Kenny Logan. That's his best kick of the day. It was a beauty. But it's been tough going for the 24-year-old internationalist. Gordon Stirling went to Wallace High School there. The Scottish ring about Wallace High School up in Stirling, isn't it? Stirling 10 metres line. Alan Glenn with the throw. It was a good, well, it wasn't such a good one because Spowage took it. Here's John Gibson, number 1, eases his vast bulk in there to try and work it round. Maybe pulling an odd arm away as well. Yes, the Currie backs encroaching into the 10 metres area. The line out was still in progress. That was Bob McKillop taking it initially, and that was the drive there by David Dunshire. But the pass to Scott Crawford just wasn't good enough. You can tell that those lads in the Stirling County back division aren't used to playing with each other, with the odd little things going astray there. The lack of teamwork is quite natural against a side who, well, have been playing some attractive rugby this season, Currie, and with a lot of midfield machinations. Lifting again, free kick. Taken very quickly indeed again by Bob McKillop. He's certainly been a live wire. Malcolm Norval surges on, the 28-year-old. Then it goes back there, and it could be a kick on as Keane goes back. And Keane, very thoughtful, very composed, allowed it to go over the goal line for the touchdown. Well, the referee's given Stirling a scrimmage, and he may have felt that the ball was taken over the line by Currie, or kicked over the line by Currie. Jeff Keane suggested that the ball was over the line before he touched it down, but somebody may have touched it before that. In any case, Stirling holding and driving, Bob McKillop keeping it at his feet there. I think Stirling, with this venerable front row of theirs, would be able to do a little bit of squeegee here. It's a very good strike indeed, and McKillop is still holding it in. And there, he's got to be careful of controlling it. Yes, offside by the scrum half, Rogerson. Taken very quickly indeed. McKillop was in there trying to get hands to it. Kearney tries to drive over, but he's stopped there by Peter Simpson, the 19-year-old. Now a chance for Kennedy. Oh, and a thumping tackle by David Wilson there on the other Logan. David Wilson in again, just with the foot trying to push the ball clear. Currie weren't back far enough. They weren't back behind their own goal line. Taken very quickly by the scrum half. McKillop again trying to make the drive. He's very much to the fore of things, and Stirling County are doing the referee playing advantage, and it's Fraser Kennedy who got so very close, and because he got the ball down, the ball was held off the ground, and here, well, Stirling got so close several times. There the ball going back, and then the drive on there by Kenny Logan, who somehow got himself up in amongst the forwards, but the ball was held up. So they've got an offence kick, and the front row forwards are up in on this move. This will be well worth seeing. Kennedy gives it to Kearney. Very loud blast indeed there. Fella straight down, a penalty to Stirling County taken by the scrum half. The drive on by Kearney. Kearney got within a metre. There'll be a great roar if Stirling score here, because they certainly pressed for long enough. Kennedy looks to see where his standoff is. Alistair Logan. Spowage is in there trying to pull his man over. Now John Gibson, number 1, tries to get in there. Brian Robertson twisting and turning and still can't get through. Very good defending by the Currie forward, and yet they've made it at last. Two men were down there with it, but in fact it looks as if it's Malcolm Norval who scored it. He gave Bob McKillop a little pat in the back as well. But this was Brian Robertson trying to drive. You notice how he twisted and turned well. And then somehow Norval and McKillop must have got in there. McKillop initially, and then I think Norval was the last one, although both of them had a hand on the ball as it went over. John Gibson says it was a try, and Norval, I reckon, was the scorer. Kenny Logan has converted the try. It's 42 points to 13 for Currie, and they're going into the last quarter of the match. 20 minutes left. So Kenny Logan with 2 penalties and a conversion. White team just making their way out to do a little bit of a warm-up before their cup final against Watsonians. Great drive on by Norval. The feed back inside there to Rob Wiley didn't quite go to hand. A counter-attack here by Plum, almost up to the 10 metres line. Lovely ball again from Rogerson inside to Donaldson, to Rogerson again. This is Currie stepping it up again, Bruce Ward. Once more, he never fails to make ground, Bruce Ward. Sometimes great tracts of territory. Now along to Donaldson. Plum going to the 22. He's tackled and knocked down by Stuart McAllister. And that was the feed out there by Alistair Logan. But the ball had been knocked forward. And so Currie get the put in. Pretty beefy Currie pack, averaging just under 16 stones. And with an 18-stone prop forward on the far side, Clem Boyd, the vice-captain. So you see they had no problems there. Lovely pick-up by Peter Simpson again. Taking the ball on the burst. Now the chance there to Donaldson. Donaldson feeding again to Forrester. He must score. He'll get behind the post, Scott Forrester. His second try of the match to add to the 4 he's had in the Premiership. Forwards and backs. Bruce Ward once again very much to the fore with the initial drive, taking people out. And then Donaldson, who's done some beautiful running, angled running today. And there the switch to Forrester coming inside. Well, the defence had been torn apart. $47 points to 30. And so this Shield Trophy destined for Maloney Park. Ali Donaldson flags it up. 6 successful goals for one of Scotland's most prolific point scorers. And it was constant pressure all the way. The lovely pass there from Rogerson. And then the switch. It was as simple as that. The forwards had already sucked people in. 49-13 for Currie. Still plenty of spirit in the Stirling forwards, however. People just lying there, said the referee. You're supposed to get away from the ball if you're down there on the floor. Rob Kearney going on, but that was a very big drive by Clem Boyd, which shifted them backwards. However, lying down there, John Gibson thumps on. A man who's known as Rhino, and there's a bit of the Rhino about that one there. Kennedy. Drive on there by McKillop. Kennedy once again. Logan feeding out to his cousin. Kenny Logan. Kenny Logan trying to go outside. It was a daring run by him. A great effort to go round on the swerve on the outside. See, 2 or 3 men trailing him here. Scott Forrester was the man closest to him, and he just got him. But the internationalist was almost away. Throw in by Alan Glenn, one of the several young players in this Currie pack. It's a very young pack indeed. Round on the wrong side, penalty. Taken very quickly by Rogerson to Donaldson, again the dummy. Again linking up beautifully. Guess who? Bruce Ward. Marvellous stuff, this superb running. Now it's Plum going up to halfway. Again a lovely ball from Rogerson. Keane going. Tonkin now. Great tracts of territory with beautiful handling. Here they come again as it's fed out from Ward to Donaldson. Another burst by Rogerson, almost up to the 22. Getting help there from Black, number 4. And the quality of ball that Currie are feeding. Now this one's a little bit slow, but there's been some lovely ball. It's Donaldson once again, missing out everybody meant initially for Keane. Scott Forrester wonders whether to go in or to stay out. This is the counter-attack by Stuart McAllister, the 17-year-old. Buffon there by Spowage, and Spowage could well win this race if he can control the ball. This is a great bit of work by him. Can he get to it? And the referee's whistle goes, and he's given a penalty try for obstruction. It was a magnificent bit of running by Gavin Spowage, the 20-year-old. And he's getting a huge ovation here. And Ray Mexon has in fact given the penalty try between the posts because of the obstruction. This initially was Stuart McAllister, and then on to Spowage. Now, he threw off Scott Forrester, and that was a very delicate kick indeed. Look how it bounced in the 5 metres area, and then it was all about control and then about pace. Spowage's try, Kenny Logan's conversion, and a great cheer there for Stirling County. 49 points to 20. They may be behind, but Spowage showed all the spirit of Bridge Hawk here in getting the try. So we've had, what, 9 tries in this match so far, and the injured player there is Rob Wiley, who's already been off injured once early on. Dr. Jane Dunbar, the sports doctor, is the lady there looking after Rob Wiley. And meanwhile, Donaldson takes a quick drop out over the 10 metres line, but Kenny Logan picks up. Now this could be worth seeing. Oh, a lovely bit of work by him. Eventually just half tackled there by Tonkin. And this is a great fight back by Stirling. They may be outplayed, but no lack of spirit. Kenny Logan flat out here, chased all the way by Peter Simpson. And there it was Tonkin with a little heel tap that eventually stopped him, and Hardy clear. So we reckon Ian Russell has come onto the field for hustling there, but Rogerson has got the ball away beautifully all afternoon for Currie, the 20-year-old scrum half. And look who's here, Bruce Ward. He's had a majestic performance in virtually every respect, attack and defence. This is Keane out to Donaldson, and once again those Currie backs working all kinds of little magical interplays between them. That was the scrum half going up there. Rogerson again, he's been a real live wire throughout the whole match. And Currie seemed to me to have won it once more. Rogerson, Donaldson, the little chip kick through. So they've about 11 minutes of the match left. And it's 49 points to 20 for Currie. And Campbell Ray, number 17, is on the field there for the injured Rob Wiley. Campbell Ray, another of the youngsters, just 19 years old, studying physical education, studying how to deal with Currie backs as well, as you can see there. But Currie have linked forwards and backs together in bewildering fashion almost throughout the match. And this laddie Rogerson has really been an eye-opener. He's played quite beautifully. There's the drive on by Alan Glenn, the hooker, up to the Stirling 10 metres line. Now it's Peter Simpson, who's made a couple of good pickups. Then the drive by the 18.5 stone Clem Boyd. They're working their way up towards the Stirling 22. Back inside to Donaldson. Now the feed outside there to Plum. This is superb stuff by Currie. It's almost demonstration stuff now as Tonkin brings it back inside, just short of the 22. That's the drive on again by Clem Boyd. And really they've been in total control of the ball for quite a spell there. Wrong side. Ray Megson brings them back and tells them where to take the kick from. So an injury to Douglas Rogerson, the Currie scrum half. But I'm sorry to see him go off because he's had a splendid match. Very quick hands indeed, so essential nowadays. And there's Ali Donaldson with the quick tap and the dummy. Ali Donaldson, a lovely switch back inside to Ward once again. They're within 15 metres of the Stirling line, and they're still in charge of it. Donaldson once again, Wilson, Plum, Keane. Ball came off the shoulder, so it wasn't a knock-on. Now it's Ali Donaldson once again. Another dummy run to John Gibson. Great serve joined by Ward. No, forward in it once again, Ward. You just can't keep the big fella out of this game. He's been in absolutely everything. And Rogerson in for it once again. And Wilson feeds out to Donaldson. The forwards driving. There's the kind of linkage I was talking about. And it looked to me as if the scrum half almost got the balls out. Keane goes in. And it is in fact a try eventually. And it looks like Chris Wands who has scored it. Indeed, a super moment for a 23-year-old. And it was a try that simply had to come because Currie had mixed up forwards and backs in quite brilliant fashion. And of course they won a lot of good ball as well. And that was the drive over for the young fellow. Chris Wands, the 23-year-old student at Edinburgh University. 54 points to 20, 10 tries in the match. And Ali Donaldson trying to stroke over his 7th successful kick of the afternoon. And did it without any bother at all. 5 conversions and 2 penalties, and the Currie fans are simply overjoyed here, as well they might be, because it's 56 points to 20 for Currie, and I reckon they've about 7 minutes left. Alistair Logan with the restart, and indeed you can play it, and the referee can play advantage. But in fact it was knocked on, and so they'll scrummage, and it'll be Stirling's ball. Currie, it didn't go the 10 metres. Currie played it and knocked it forward, hence the scrummage. If Currie hadn't played it, they would have got a scrummage if they'd wanted to back at the middle of the pitch. Once again Logan, that's the switch out to the cousin, Kenny Logan. Beautifully inside to Crawford, on again to Alistair Logan. Stirling still showing plenty of spirit and skill. Stuart McAllister now Down there went Douglas for it, but they've lost it, and there's an overlap here as Donaldson feeds out to Plum. Plum has Keane outside him. Nobody will catch Keane. He's a flyer, and that is another splendid counter-attack try. Jeff Keane, the scorer, the lad born in Selkirk and who used to play for Gala, but this was the architect, Donaldson. He felt the tremendous overlap that there was, and Plum's pass, having pulled in his man, was all that Jeff Keane needed. Long run, he knew that he had no problems in scoring. 61 points to 20 for Currie. Jeff Keane goes back there, having scored one of the 11 tries now. Donaldson just squeezing it past the upright this time. 61 points to 20, and this is a typical counter-attack try made by Donaldson's recognition of the counter-attack opportunity when the opposing defence is unmarshalled, and the result is a runaway try there for Jeff Keane. Logan gets it started again. Currie once again absolutely rampant. See, that pass didn't go to hand, but Scott Forrester has time. He's tackled by one Logan, but he wasn't held. Forrester giving it on to Marek Tonkin. Drive on there by Clem Boyd, this great big 18.5 stones Irishman, who will be captain of Currie next season. Donaldson once again. Wilson with the dummy, gives it outside to Plum. Plum to Keane. Keane, another magnificent try. Just listen to the applause for them. That really was beautiful work. The movement of the ball through the hands was so quick and smart. Great stuff. Tonkin first of all, caught there by Ray, but very quick recycling of the ball. Another drive by a forward, just taking people out, sucking people in, disorganising the opposing defence, and then the quick passing. Donaldson, lovely ball to Wilson. Wilson kidding on Barkley, and then Plum sends Keane home. And well, you can't get a much better counter-attack try than that. Beautiful work there. And Plum just held on long enough to give Keane the clear run. 68 points to 20, they've 3 minutes left. And Ali Donaldson's looking for another score or two. However, it's Stirling. McAllister cutting back inside, he had Dunshire outside him. That was Logan driving on, now Kearney. They've kept battling on, those Stirling fellas. Malcolm Norval, with help from Douglas, trying to work it out. Now it's Kearney once again, they're trying to roll it away. Bob McKillop is in there as well. Now Kennedy on the drive. Crawford almost getting it. Crawford still, but the flag was up for touch. Scott Crawford there, who used to be something of an athlete in his younger days, a Central Region champion athlete. A very versatile player who's played scrum half standoff at Larbert High School. Now on the wing.
56-15-33.
Young Glenn from Troon, who's out of Merkison Castle School. Not 5, not allowing the ball to go 5 metres is a free kick offence. And Alan Glenn recognises that. Once again, Kennedy, Logan. One Logan to another. Strong tackle there by Stuart Hardy, the New Zealander, but up too quickly, and Kenny Logan takes it. Golly, he really has played his heart out to try to put a better sight on the score than 68-20. But a great training run for Kenny Logan when you consider that he'll be out in New Zealand with the Scottish Tour party another fortnight or so. Now the crowd, I'm sure, would lift the roof if Stirling could register another try. Kennedy, the switch to the other lung, didn't go to hands. Spowage went down, but the ball's been robbed and ripped away by Bruce Ward once again. Great catch by Donaldson. Again the dummy and the feed. Superb stuff all the way this. I mean, Currie are absolutely rampant. This is Jeff Keane again, on to Donaldson. Donaldson taking on everybody. Lovely tap tackle there by Logan, but it could be a try for Scott Forrester, and that's his third of the game. And again, magnificent counter-attacking out of the blue. It's been a match that has delighted the big crowd, although fairly one-sided. Russell to Keane. And then Keane with the overhead pass. Ali Donaldson totally aware of what was on, except that little tap on his heel. And then the pass, because he wasn't held. The pass out there to Scott Forrester, his third try. And they're into injury time at the end of the match. And Currie are leading by 75 points to 20. The referee's whistle goes for the end of the match. And it's been a handsome victory for Currie. But tremendous fighting spirit shown by the weakened Stirling County side. 75 points to 20 Currie win. And so Currie are the Shield winners.
Final score of the SIU Tournament Shield is Currie 75, Stirling County 20. Please remain seated for the presentation of the trophy and medals. Presentation will be made by SIU President Dr. Ian Todd, who will be assisted by Mr. Angus Meldrum, a Director of Tennis. Please show your appreciation to the runners-up of the SIU Tournament Shield final, who will now receive their medals. They are led by the captain, Kenny Logan.
And indeed a great cheer for Kenny Logan and the Stirling County side, who although outplayed showed tremendous spirit and the willingness to move the ball by hand as well. And the presentation of the handsome shield eventually will be made by Dr. Ian Todd there, who presents the medals to each of the players as a memento of this great inaugural occasion. Stirling County, the runners-up in the shield competition.
And now, the stupendous moment, the winning finalists of the SIU Shield final. Currie, who are led by their captain, Ali Donaldson.
And a huge ovation for Ali Donaldson and his Currie side, who have given a demonstration of handling rugby par excellence. Some superb work, 13 tries in the match altogether. And there the handsome shield held aloft by Ali Donaldson with his 7 splendid goal kicks. And each one of the team getting his this chance to raise it high. That's Dr. Ian Todd, the president of the Scottish Rugby Union, who's making the presentations. And it's a great moment for the Currie side because they've now been promoted in the Premiership from Division 2, and so they'll be in the elite next season. And certainly with rugby football of that quality, they'll be very welcome indeed to the top Premiership. That's Ian Russell, who came on as a replacement. Sorry. And so Currie end their season on a very high note indeed. Winners of the Scottish Rugby Union Kennett Shield in this inaugural competition. The Maloney Park faithful will rejoice.
Please let us join in thanking the referee, Mr. Raymond, and his match officials.
One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. Where's Ali? Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. He was quite actually. He genuinely was, yeah. Can you hold it up so we can actually see it while we're talking? That's great. Right. Ali, many congratulations. Winners of the Shield. Yeah. To go with promotion this year. It's been a good season.
It's been a good season. A bit fragmented, but you know, getting knocked out of the cup proper was a big disappointment for us. And once we got over that, and you know, we had a second bite at the cherry, we're just delighted to come here. And you know, Stirling obviously had a very weakened team, and I think that put a bit of pressure on us in a way, because you know, it was a no-win situation in some ways. We had to win because Stirling were minus so many regulars, but I'm delighted we managed to play the way we did.
And just a quick thought on next season in the Premier Division?
Oh, very, very difficult. I mean, it's going to be a huge season. We've signed up Alan Watt, which is a big bonus. Hopefully we can get a few more, but we're all looking forward to it. We're geared up to it, and we'll certainly give it our best shot.
Okay, thank you very much and well done.
Okay.
Well done, Alan.